across the government of Salone. We have big conversation today. We get some of the top players them. I'm particularly pleased for welcome me sister. All man know say I get favorites na cabinet, and my favorites na the Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, because in a Minister Ba, me back na Minister Ba. I'm my sister, and I'm very proud of her. I'm delighted that today you do fantastic work at the ministry. And the Honorable Salima Monomaba. We also get here big alleged them from different parts of the internet sector, the connectivity sector. The regulator there in the person of Mr. Abdul Ben Fode, when I am the Director for Corporate and Industry Affairs, na the title and also. And representing Leocom, we get Mr. Almami Thomas Momodu, na the Head of Operations and Maintenance. And then last but by no means the least, my other big brother as well, Mr. Mahmoud Idris, Executive Director for Zood Labs. I'm glad you own all there. They can't give you the mic, on back, they give you a chance to ask them questions. But before that, I'll go through very briefly the news updates. On all for Mark the 12th of August 2024. If you remember, also been day yesterday, will be a historic day. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Salone, presided over a very special session of the United Nations Security Council in New York. This session was witnessed by no less a person than the Secretary General himself, the head of the General Assembly, and other world leaders them, representing all the member states them we currently sit on the Security Council. Also just the fact say Salone been there at the Security Council, that we are now president of the Security Council, but that the first gentleman of the states lead a conversation for talk about the reform of the world in most important global peace and security institution. And now the first time in the history of the Security Council that a state table that kind of discussion day. A call for justice, a call for righting historical and colonial wrongs, and making sure that Africa will get in full place at the Security Council. He advocated for reform of the Security Council and say Africa forget a permanent seat. He called for let them set aside the veto. We don't derail the Security Council in work. But he said if you not set aside that veto, it's only fair that Africa in a permanent position we say forget the right to that veto day. Una na the fourth estate. This is not the time where they switch from being just a minister to appealing to Una now as patriots. And a big moment standing for our country, a moment of national pride. A moment we all for elevate, for tell we picking them, say we country just 25 years ago, we've been there on the table of the Security Council for talk about conflicts, sanctions. Remember? We didn't really talk about all the bad things them. Now, the whole world, they commend we and they celebrate His Excellency the President for the remarkable work we do. So, we don't miss that moment this night. This month is a month of national pride, a month we all for look up and be proud of the journey we don't take collectively together. APC, SLPP, PMDC, NGC, all political parties. At that moment, they did not ask President Bio's party color he gets. Now Sierra Leone, I mean, they the world news and all the media that they carry yesterday in the world. So it's a great moment of pride. Last week, His Excellency the President me open Parliament. So I no say a call for unity. Una see say he get bipartisan praise for not just in call for peace and unity, but also for we outline all the steps that we don't continue for take as a government for achieve the president's dream for deliver on in second term priorities. Just 1 year into it, all the achievement that we don't make, we at the Ministry of Information and Civic Education very proud that he talk about the effort that we don't make for continue for bridge the gap between the people of Salone and the governments for ensure open governance and also for make sure say citizens and they participate in the governance process. A few more quick updates. The Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. David Senga, be engaged stakeholder in Malane for resolve long-standing tensions in at the Malen Chiefdom. This is now local news. The Chief Minister been bring comprehensively all the parties in together. We apparently then get some challenges then they for renegotiate the SOCFIN contract agreement, and it being assured them of government in support in that process there. Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs don't issue a press release condemning the killing of protected leopard na Koinadugu. Apparently, picture the Mindi say one leopard na Koinadugu, some people then go hunt and kill them. So this is a very bad thing. We call on the people of this country for say, do ya, then wildlife, then they will need for protect them. President Bill don't talk a lot about the environment, for cut stick, for kill the animal, then they now all the responsibility on our back, the president for April for push this word, and the Ministry of Tourism really they ask for that as well. NCRA, the National Civil Registration Authority, don't join other member states in the sub-region for mark the 7th Africa Civil Registration and Vital Statistics Day. This day then seen have been for reflection, collaboration, and action for let we make sure say civil registration and vital statistics across Africa go include linkage and legal identity systems and through digitalization. I'm glad it will end padani because we'll come back now to this conversation where we get. All right. Now we come to the panelists that will get here. First, we don't take 1 year now in our government. Since the very successful, and congratulations, I think we've been saying here, the very successful tech conference, the first of its kind, with the minister being pull off, really magical, bring the whole world cancer alone. You pull off that. People go want to know, and want to let you start this press conference for just give me an update. As the Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, new ministry, since you take under portfolio day, this is an opportunity for you just provide, let's say, in 5 minutes. I know say 5 minutes not good, you need 2 hours, because I mean, no, now within at the same floor, I know you are working a lot, but maybe say 5 to 7 minutes, an update on the progress and the achievement, and let people know about President Bill in Big Five, this commitment, you were the leader, waiting you don't see so far as progress.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, my brother, for this. I also want to say thank you for providing the platform for Moyobu Spotlight, the communication or the ICT sector in general na Salon today. But I also want to join you for really enforce on Fambul the significance of yesterday. Me and my brother just when you talk, I said that in a one moment where me definitely go member we tell with generation to come, say, even on a personal note, say, me and you too, me then at this administration on this day, where His Excellency the President go put Salon on the map, because that's what it is. Not me the advocates just for Salon, me the advocates on the whole of Africa yesterday. So I think that's then a definitely moment of pride we all for take on board. But specifically on this sector and 1 year into this new term of His Excellency the Presidency administration. Since we end our tech summit, I go start today, as you're also aware, in May or June. We host the first ever international tech summit in our salon. We'll be able to bring together the whole innovation community and ecosystem, not just in our salon, but we also invite big international players that we attend, from the big private tech companies, the Google, the Amazon, the Meta, the Visa, they all media, and then only come and participate, and then maybe get very strategic meetings then. We also able to showcase we own innovators in our salon, because within the president can always talk, say, he believes, say, the challenge they will face in our salon, we get the solution for then the young people and then get solutions. So we able to showcase their innovators there and waiting and they do. They will also see the Agriculture Innovation Challenge, where His Excellency the President insists for shows in commitment, pull money in pockets, $30,000 for give to the post we can force for maybe supporter for really invest in the idea. They will also see second man get 20, the third person get 10,000. Now then I for just show government in commitment for invest in the innovation there. But also, during this tech summit, His Excellency the President, oversee the launching of three big things there. For example, we launched the 50 million digital transformation project, we supported by the World Bank. This project here, so now for three things. One, now for support, we'll talk about the connectivity, how they expand and even supporting NATCA. We all talk about how NATCA they regulate and how they do their work. This project support. It also they support digital skills training them. Then for more train, we say Leone if we're able to do more, and also they support digital transformation and then government digital services. Also, the president launched we see the launch of the Fele Tech City initiative, where we happen Bo Tikonko Chiefdom. Already we don't get support from African Development Bank for support some of that work there, as well as private sector commitments that we look for invest within that place there. Then also we launched Starlink. Now Salon became the 9th country in Africa for launch Starlink. So I think it's a really big accomplishments and for we. But then outside of the tech summit, we'd also see within this 1 year significant things that will happen. We also don't launch the National Fiber Backbone 2 project. We don't expand the fiber optic cable. Now 14 out of the 16 districts in Salon. We also do work for see how we now close out that gap there for reach 16 out of 16. We also, through the Universal Access Development Fund, don't launch 9 rural telephone sites na communities, and this really impacts us. So now no get communities that we go talk say they not get the pole sites or get connectivity. So with that, we also prioritize farming communities, because as you all know, His Excellency the flagship of this administration are Feed Salon. Yes, all man all man to one connectivity, and the aim now for provide for all man, but at this moment we prioritize communities there. We're a big farming communities then, because with all the other solutions that we government they do with the connectivity we enable and the more. We also don't launch the emergency internet bandwidth. I know because of the problem that is now for government, how government they operate. One of the big 5 as well now public sector reform. How they will make sure say government work better for now. One of the key tools that we government use for work na internet. If internet or in ministries, my brother not going to do press conference. So one of the things that we don't do now for provide emergency internet bandwidth na 50 public institutions them for enable and support NCR and the work. Then also speaking about NCRA, the other thing we would also don't accomplish is we don't get support from ECOWAS for do a data exchange layer. And why this important, as soon as we get challenge. Boku, and these are just this how technology they all man they run, all man they build, all man they do things them. But the challenge we don't they face, then system there, they normally talk to themselves. You get one system inside the same ministry because not to the same person bilam, then they connect. So once you don't get support from ECOWAS now for build this data exchange layer, we go allow then data there for interconnect. So we start off with NCRA through the partnership we don't get with them for able begin develop and with them. Also, quite recently, we don't close out we ICT skills training we'll do nationwide. We support from Huawei and Orange. We don't train over 3,200 picking them, as well as 500 entrepreneurs on cybersecurity and digital marketing skills. Then they recently just closed out to go to schools right across the districts and Salon. But then outside of that, there's also in a ministry book of work na policies. You have to do policies, legislation for provide the ecosystem. So one of the big things that we don't launch the national broadband strategy. This really go enable we government with the private sector and we partners them for inform we how we increase penetration. Because the idea not of just go, you just go put pool all side. There has to be a strategy based on outside population day. Now so you go around how you want increase this penetration for maybe last man get them. So that now strategy we work with all the partners them on we don't launch. We also don't launch the National Government Enterprise Architecture. Again, this goes to the digital transformation plan. we get standards in terms of how they build there, we solution there, and then we platform there. So then I want to don't develop, we the roll out now, they work with, even yesterday, then we get a stakeholder conference, we'll bring all my side for inform them about what's the acceptable international best practice standards we can to digital government services and systems. We also they work on an ICT user guide. For example, I say we don't do bandwidth to 50 institutions, but to be honest, some of the problems they will face now wastage of this bandwidth. For example, if somebody in our office, they don't use the internet for Netflix, you part deprive, that bandwidth they wish for go towards something way for do the work. So we get a policy we can to people away in our government waiting, for use the internet for. And this not till the monitor and the control now going forward in terms of internet within government institutions, how they're supposed to be used. Also emails, conversations around the emails, conversations, around also how they use them in government devices where we allocate to you, waiting, allowed for use that devices therefore, and how we will monitor all of them in there. So, and we all know say within government wrapping up now, a lot of this when we say policy implementation is a big thing. So one of the things they would do, they establish standards and compliance units within this ministry. The ministry now, that units they establish systems using software, not just man, using software would able to monitor implementation of all of them policies that would roll out and ensure and enforce compliance. So these are some of in a nutshell some of the things that we believe say within this 1 year when a significant thing to would accomplish.
Well, we the chief minister can say we will deliver. Some people can think saying a joke, but you can see and hear from all the different ways them with the Ministry of Communication, Technology and Innovation, whether now on policy, whether on action, tangible investment and opportunities. I want to congratulate you. It's a lot. We'll try to make sure that this information will continue to put out. Some of this, they inside the government's in 1 year of delivery newsletter we don't put out. So people will see that the government, they work for them. So thank you for that. Now I want to bring Anka home. I come back to you, Madam Minister. The question of internet connectivity. In the past, somebody would explain to me, say, internet have been luxury. Have been like, we something you in our elite. In fact, some of us have wouldn't say internet, they come out use force. Go wait, stay. The children's from days will be go sleep all na Mameyoko hotel for use internet. We don't go sleep there. So where the UN staff they don't go, na net will get access to the computer there. Work. But today, thanks to somebody in the way you don't talk, internet na bread and butter. Now with daily existence. If internet shut down now, everybody na here, they complain also. Money, this, that, and all. So, Madam Minister, I want to let you give me briefly now the status of the sector. Who's are we there now? And then I know say you get to partner there now, where they represent the sector. We go for Axod Labs because we know say then get a big role inside the sector. Leone come, we are the transport. So we go for Kanto, we give us, and then we go to the regulator. The regulator tell we, okay, they I don't talk saying that this they do. What they not do? What they do? How they represent we, the citizens. But for set the stage, we come back to the minister. From your own perspective, as the leader of the sector, who's are we there right now?
Thank you very much again. And I think Sawam also add to that by saying clearly, His Excellency the President he consider internet and mobile service now basic human rights now. Not to luxury the same way how we provide education, we provide healthcare services, we provide water, now the same way internet and mobile, all man for able get no matter outside and day. So with that the goal, and now we benchmark who they work towards. Agwangi in terms of USA we don't do significant, as you mentioned, you say before, you pass, you go wait. We don't see, so now, woman gets outside and they, and then through significant investment, we don't go into the network infrastructure. That may just happen by circumstance, because significant intentional investments are going to the infrastructure, both by government and by the private sector. Not to just government, and this not all sides, not to just government, some will make investments. Government don't make investment into the fiber infrastructure, but you see the telcos there where they pull and that is investment as well. We then said they make into this community what we get. As we mentioned, we don't see the rollout of the landing of the subsea cable, ACE cable. We don't see the rollout of the fiber optic, the Echo One cable, the national fiber backbone over the years. But then also significantly, what did not happen for improve this space. Really, what I think is don't be game changer and the improvement of the governance structure. Before, we get Sal Cabo, the Tinami one, we all know the problems there when we do that. And what in government do for separate then two functions where Sal Cab they do. We now make we get with two government partners then I have. Number one, we get Zood Labs. Zood Labs, now then they manage the subsea cable, the ACE cable, where they come up from the water, can land and salon. Zood Labs get a contract, a PPP contract with government. That cable, now government. But government go into partnership with Zood Labs for me they manage them and commercialize them for we, and we they share in that revenue day. Then we also get Leone. Leone, now then they manage the terrestrial fiber. The cable where they come off Freeton, within Freeton, there where they go upline. That cable where they can go connectivity upline. Again, then in a government infrastructure, but we enter into a partnership with Leone for me to able to manage that on behalf of government and also expand the cable beyond what we give them. Then we get a completely private owned company when a metro, now then they do the metropolitan terrestrial fiber optic cable. Then I've just lay out what we currently get, because some people, I think some people get confused, Uda they do waiting. But then now into the status of USAI we dey, I think it's important for also, give facts and figures towards that day. We currently get, in terms of the population we covered by mobile network, we currently at 96.7% of the population currently get potential access to mobile connection. Mobile voice subscription, and like the one that we get SIM card. We get SIM card of the population, we get that SIM card. They win a non-unique. We currently get around 5.4 million people. We get SIM card, we get mobile SIM card. And through that, the 2G coverage na 96, because no say the connectivity level they by, the level they. So get 2G of all the sites them, 96% of the sites are 2G, 95%. Yes. Yes, 96 of the 90. So all the 96 will get they're all 2G. So of that 96, 95.9% na 3G, then 87.7% na 4G. As you also know, we recently don't give licenses to telcos then for made them trial 5G, where they don't even launch. And now they see how some of all them sites and they will come up back to 5G. And then the mobile data penetration, and then now then people will get MiFi, we get the modem then to homes, the mobile, the amount of people that we get, and we at 2.1 million. And then they actually now increase, 15% increase from last year. So we see how then they improve. I go also say, state honestly, for say the 5.4 we get internet, so we get mobile, that is a decrease from last year, but there's several factors we make a decrease. For example, I soon I don't see the mobile linkages where they go on with NCRA and NATCA for say Olma for go link the mobile, the SIM card to UNIN. Obviously, then they cause some man do that they now one number to go register and they register so the balance will be get use for that thing. So these are some of the reasons we can on going to Dandy. So while obviously through that we don't see say yes, progress has been made within the sector for MOVAM, but we also acknowledge say, especially quite recently, so we all don't see some outages and some situations, both to the sea cable and in our ACE that's managed by Zoo Labs, that we don't see even regionally. We don't see outages in terms of the cable where they go. Now the provinces, booming they out recently where Leone come they manage. And without making excuses, I think say important for many people to understand why the situation they happen, and also more inform about what they do in the short term and in the long term for solve the problem. So on why the situation they happen, we can't to the national outage. Salona Wangen subsea fiber cable will get winner ACE. And that ACE cable now connect Guinea, now connect Liberia, I think say Ghana, Nigeria, then in several countries. This one to just Salon. And because of this interconnection and how the cable routes are the type of in way and how the cable lay, you're able to pass on a different road them. Because cable natina, the guy get cable. If it cuts, the service they out. Then I just so not to I think say people for understand I just cable. If it cuts, the service they out. So right now, but we get for lay them in different ways. So not to just one cable no more. You lay in different ways. So in case one cut, you go jump on the other one. If then they cut, you go jump on the other one. So we don't see even before this one happened a couple of months before, cable cuts right at where affect Boku country then. Boku in May. Boku country then go off. But because of how we and kudos to Zoo Labs on Monday, because of how they routes and cable we country they like Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia. I say Liberia may they out for a week. Where other countries them they out for longer. I believe that send the salon at 45 minutes no more. We may they out for because we able jump per other connection there immediately and able to reduce the outage. But recently, what happened, I believe, and this not way, I believe Zoo Labs go educate more on, we get situation where the two, when at the Portugal route, may they out for maintenance. The one who me Awopa and a South Africa route, something happened at Liberia, not to Salon. Something happened at Liberia, the cable cuts the, obviously because of this interconnection I explained, the cable is going jump. If one cut, we successfully affected, even though we own problem. So we cut the, we were affected, and I believe see them again for jump on now for see how then they able to resolve. And so that's just the situation on why the situation they happen. On the terrestrial, again, the situation where you go see bow, sometimes then they say bow, the whole of body out, the whole of yonder they out, because either now two situations and they happen. Either the main ACE cable go off. If not to that situation, when I one sign no more, that means say the cable where they take connection go bow, something happen to them. And that cable then they just sit down, something happen. It must be in that situation. In that instance, is there somebody, I think there's two situations. Either somebody intentionally cut them or somebody unintentionally cut them. In that situation, they before, now unintentional, somebody they building us, they didn't put proper measures for go inform all which they're supposed to do, where you below, so you get for a permit, for make sure say we advise you on who side the cable and day, so you not cut them, somebody not do that and day, where then the bill, as in the dig, then cut the cable, we cause the whole of bow for go out. So that's not the situation where can happen, where then and the you see the regional outages as well. And now one going to the solution.
All right.
Then for just not to excuse, but I just might explain.
Let people understand.
More understand. Yeah. I see, because even the terrestrial, I see people like, oh, now orange, now on fault. I just want to understand, say sometimes, no, it is not. Now because of that service, that cable in orange they use, and Africell and all the telco they use for provide service to that rural area. So if it cuts, not to them, but to explain what now we do for, Ministry and NATCA don't engage. As this is a pressing emergency issue, NATCA don't convene an emergency committee. We include all the sector stakeholders there, the government partners them, the telcos, the ISPs, for more come together for see waiting for do in the short term and in the medium term solution. We need a solution immediately. Yes, still at the third day, then just come on that meeting again. So they all day together. In the short term, the plan now for come up with options, how they optimize the ACE cable will get. That now for more look into the routing options, how ACE cable lay, for see which other options then they, for see how cable ensure say if one go off, other option go there where we completely no go blackout. Then are waiting, then they work on as of today, they're working on that for move. And then immediate then the short term or not a long term business. I mean the next week or two, we'll get a plan of what now we're going to do going forward. An agreement with everybody. On the other side, the ministry side, we recently that this weekend we just come out. I lead the delegation to Guinea. Myself, NATCA, the partners them. Because why? We want to establish an interconnection with Guinea. So if Salone go down for whatever reason, we can go to Guinea and go get bandwidth. So we no go able to go, and the same thing, vice versa. On both sides, we establish that connection. And why Guinea important to me? Because this interconnection, you only establish that with your border country. Salone, Guinea, and Liberia no more get. But Guinea, they get 6 other bordering countries, then they get more cable. So if we connect to Guinea, automatically, we also the benefit from that Guinea, the other 6 options. For example, Ivory Coast get 4 cable, and Guinea connect to Ivory Coast. So we connect to them, then they also, go enable we share bandwidth, who they reserve emergency bandwidth. Then they keep our number between 2. If we go off, we go give them the same, and on that same situation. And also, this emergency band will get potential, what they discuss, for see how it could influence the cost of data. But that we will come to actually say, hopefully there will be an announcement on that at some other point. So now I don't go inception meeting with my counterpart, the minister in Guinea. We don't agree on the principle of all of this. The DG of NATCA, I should say, if you mean data from India today, they lead a technical team now with all the partners, then go meet then counterparts in Guinea, more agree on all the technical specifications next week. So that by coming out of that next week, in a very 2-3 weeks as well, go see that signing, that a very historic signing for we of that agreement there. Then now long term. These are all, the other thing I mentioned are short-term solution which will happen within the next month or 2.
All right. 1 more minute.
1 more minute. Just on the long term now. Ultimately, for true protection, for me, we limit this with one. Because anybody will get 1 cable, as long as 1 cable, you get vulnerable. For more truly limiter, ultimately, we need 2 cable. We need 2 cable at any given moment in time. So, what will they do towards that? The private sector, they come together, then they form this partnership. We look at the Meta to Africa cable. Then they see how they will come together, form this consortium for bringing this cable now where government to support them in that initiative. On government side, we work with regional partners, ECOWAS. ECOWAS get this initiative called Amica Cabral, where they put for all countries when a 1 cable and get, for see how they able help we get another cable. Government on your side, we just have to pursue that day. But I also want to end by saying, with all of this, for assuring us, we're not complacent. We understand, this is a vital service for everybody. A link to the way of life now. As I say, some people say, we can have money. The first way they do, before they touch the Bible for Quran, for watching food, the first way you check. So even Mr. Sef, we understand, we take that on board, and we are just making this assurance. The other partners then go provide the more specifics into that in there. I don't talk about this, are just general oversight of what is happening and what do they do for resolve them. Thank you.
The Honorable Salima Monomaba, the Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, are also proud for say that the youngest cabinet minister inside President Bureau government. He don't provide a comprehensive update on the status of in sector and also on the status of connectivity. Highlights. This is a human rights issue. It's no longer a privilege. We continue to make significant investments for expand access in this country and for make sure we expand quality. The work we do every day, just talk about just from between last year and this year, in terms of penetration, we continue to see increase and access and the quality as well. They don't give permission, license for low get 4G as well, and President Bio Vision. At that 96%, 97% we call now follow convert to 100%. So every part of this country will get that. But they know the rest. Because the cable loaded only challenges the day, problem the day, then they already look at alternative. Just last week I know say we just come out that trip, we did Guinea with the whole team for solve this problem. It just to announce say next week there'll be a follow-up and very soon we will sign for get a plus and solution. So not for remove it, we'll go for say, if problem be so, we add this one solution there. And then for deal with the problem again in a very long time. And a day also means say, part of what he announced. While we getting challenges that if you get Starlink, you're not even tied to that part of it. So we continue to provide people with alternatives for make sure say that human rights with excellency don't say when a human right, nobody can take it away from you. Now I come to you Zood Labs. Mr. Idris. This Zood Labs, interestingly, a lot of people don't really fully understand what's in a Zood Labs then role. In fact, some people are just facing a SALCAB, now on a Zood Labs. And so whenever there's a problem, there's a challenge, now Zood Labs will be blamed. I mean, we can talk about why that's the issue. We need to talk more about young comes as well. But this is an opportunity for explain to people, and I'm not saying I'm a very good communicator, in very simple terms. What's in a Zood Labs? The your role in this, the minister don't give you small hints. And from my own perspective, what's the status? What's how we take right now? What's in people for expect?
Thank you, Mr. Minister. And I'll try not to go over a lot of the things that Minister Salima don't already say, but I'll do two things. First, I would like to congratulate Minister Salima. I don't work inside, alongside, outside government a lot, and people have different ways of trying to address things. But the one thing I have found over the years is the sense of urgency of finding a solution. So one unique feature we get or quality is, they wait for next month. Because usually in government, it's, okay, well, Lord, do I inside the next 3 weeks. With her, when I talk, he say, well, Lord, do I Monday or tomorrow. Or now we come out Guineas, Lord, go back next week and probably the other week. So it is only through a behavior like that we go able to address some of the problems that we salon they face, especially the pressing ones. And I'm sure it's not a mistake that the president choose people who get energy. Now, coming to the issue of Zood Labs, who Zood Labs is, what it does, I go also try for talk
I beg you let you stick to Creole.
Okay.
I know say
I can struggle
you
small.
come on at the same side.
I know I can struggle small, but I'll try.
Now we come on at the back boy area and that.
Okay.
So we like English.
Okay, sir.
But do you allow talk Creole, sir?
Okay. Sir. All right. Thank you. So Udana Zood Labs. So I think say Minister Ba talk about SALCAB when they say Zood Labs, they remember SALCAB. To some extent, not true. But I'll just use a simple analogy for describe how Zood Labs and SALCAB connect. So if today we get SALCAB, now we get SAL, and this NACAB. So going forward, just understand, say, Zood Labs is only now SAL. And how does this work? I will go back and provide some explanations around this whole thing we call internet. And I'm going to use Maggie, say Maggie Nina Internet, and how people access Maggie. So internet really not like information there on computers, they call them servers. They're sitting in a store, like in a warehouse. So if you want Facebook today, you see it on your phone, but everything about that Facebook content, it actually there on a computer somewhere in another country. So for let you able to access Facebook, it's like how you take the Maggie from the warehouse for bring and come, in this case, to your phone. That road where the Maggie de waka, we don't see it with our eyes, but it's actually based on infrastructure, like physical road, where the truck get for drive on. So everything we pertain to the internet that people they access in a salon, they need a highway where the internet, the Maggie internet, where they pull them. That infrastructure, for now, now two-way a day. One, there's a cable, we fiber EDSA cable, but it is under the water. Because now under the water, that cable, they take go Paris, they go South Africa, they go na Spain. When are they, some of them server, then they sit down, or then self-connect with other cable where they go outside the server, then sit down. So that's the whole arrangement. Now, I think the minister also said 8 years ago, because now only few people they get internet. When internet they go down for one whole day, 99.99% of the population not they even know. Today, where lights go, we they know. So as more and more people they use this internet, they access this Maggie. If they say today Maggie don't done a store, more people get for grumble. So now the sensitivity of us to internet, it don't increase 100 times compared to say 8 years or 10 years ago. Zood Labs now they handle this highway where they connect Sierra Leone to all outside them Maggie and Sidon, and they go on the submarine cable. So the arguments about why government gets SAL and CAB a day and for efficiency purposes, but I shall say the minister go talk on that later. So it was like, now we get this component where would they make sure say this person where they manage them, it do them to the best of their ability, you don't get anything where they distract them. Then the other part way for make this internet available to the public, like the other person. So in Adan, they no more they work on, not concerned about the international. So Zood Labs is responsible for the international highway where they bring in traffic. I'll move to the next part about, well, why this thing they happen now so frequently? Well, part of it is we are more sensitive to it, so we notice now when it happens. But the second reason is this highway where they call this cable, it on the old. Now 2012 them build them. If now road self they make, where don't they take 10 years, 15 years, we they see the pothole that they boku. So we need for the patch them as we they go. For we wait in our Godrich, before goodies, I've been fine road. Now, we reach there, it is slow. Why? Because it is spoil and they get for block the road for us for make them. So the reality is, this cable where they lay in 2012, don't the age, it don't they get problem. It is cut for himself, intentionally or unintentionally. Intentionally, sometimes fishermen that they pass, that they do trawling. The cable lay down under the water, they hook them, they cut them. You don't even know. You have to go find out what happened first, then you fix that problem there, then they come back. Now, as these risks of cuts they increase, that is the likelihood for say get for the cuts they increase, waiting we they do, and waiting government ask we for do. Then say, trade for Camp Freetown, you either pass Waterloo or you pass, you either go so or you go Peninsula, but even there you get for go meet up now Waterloo and take one way for go. So it means if anything happen between Waterloo and Mashaka, or Waterloo and Songo, nobody not able for come out, go any part upline until they fix that road there. This is the example of how it happen. Anytime one cable cut, we not get internet. So waiting Zood Labs do, we build more roads. When Zood Labs take over from Salcab, there were two alternative routes then where the internet users they take mobile for bring internet in the country. You find out, say, this not get for work. So build other road. We build other road where probably they go now through another path. So if these two Hamburg, or then get for repair or maintenance, this way makes it Motkade no go Wakade, that's a third road. So currently, there are 3 roads where they bring internet in Salone. One, they go under the water to Paris on this infrastructure where the minister called ACE. The other one, they take another route, but under the water, to Spain, Lisbon. And then the third one, where Zood Labs can add, now for go down to Cape Town in South Africa. This now for reduce the likelihood for, say, the whole country go down. But still, it don't happen. It happened 3 weeks ago. So the minister called and say, even though maybe when our contract say it's acceptable for let it go down 0.3% of the time, right now the country too sensitive to internet. So we have to go from 96% to 100%. So all of the discussions where they happen now for make sure say internet availability inside this country, not to 99.7%, it is 100%. So what is Zood Labs doing now? Now we all minister go to Conakry, like where they say build Lunge Bridge. So we are finding another path talk to the one there where they bring internet through Guinea, reach na the border. We talk to cab them, cab take them from there and bring and come inside the country. So again, it's just another effort inside the short-term solution for say, let this country not the 2 minutes of internet not in the country.
So the old road, I like that metaphor there because it's very clear. What will they do for fix the old road? Because if you patch with the patch and self, una the patch them preemptively, myself sabi small English see say una the wait, una go, una patch them, or the wait with problem be they will go patch them. What una they do constantly for assure people and say, we get means and for no say this road they are way don't also not the wait stay the patrol people are making go inside for fix them. Talk about that quickly.
Yeah. So like roads, you get the one that need to happen. So again, let's just make we family understand, say, this highway we then call the cable way they go internationally, not to government get them. The pathway government get now the one way they can inside salon. So there is a component where you go say this na salon in. There's a component where 16 countries they share. So the S highway itself is now a big infrastructure where connects 16 countries to the rest of the internet. So you get thing the way they happen on this way, not completely outside Salone. Something up them Morocco side they happen. So when that happens, now the ACE, when the organization, we get membership from these 16 countries. Now they make that maintenance arrangement, they all man put in own contribution. Right. So the one they were planned, the one they were not planned. So both of them, not to Zood Labs per se. Zood Labs they wait, ACE do them, then we give the money where ACE they use for do their repairs then they.
Okay, thank you very much. So look at Leone come now. When at the cab. Inside if waiting have been sal cab. All been separate. So the same question I ask Mr. Idris, now I ask you, Mr. Mamadou. Waiting at Leone come for in simple language, explain to people them how una connect, waiting una they do, and how una they make sure say then challenges the people in the face so recently. What would they do for solve them? What now your role inside that matrix where the minister just explained so?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Minister. Leone come na company we come out from where government decide for unbundle Salcap. Waiting them mean that and the government say Salcap get bakul where they play. And for some reasons where government deem fit, they say, make we separate Salcap. As Mr. Mahmoud say, we are the other arm of Salcap. Leone come and get the contract agreement with government of Sierra Leone. Now we the maintenance, we commercialize and operate the national fiber backbone infrastructure. What in this mean? The national fiber backbone infrastructure na a carrier network, carrier we mean say na in the carry traffic for we clients them. Other than our client them, we client them na the mobile network operators, Africell, Orange, QCell, internet service providers, Afcom, IPTEL, Online, Mitchcom, and others. Them people there, where them buy wholesale bandwidth from Zood Labs within a beach. Then they reach out to Leoncom and say, Leoncom, I get this internet bandwidth. I need, for example, 2 gig na Bo, 2 gig na Kenema, 2 gig na Makeni, Kono, Cambia, Kabbalah, you name it. So now Leoncom, they transport. So take Zood Lab as in a scenario base, say Zood Lab na ina Wataki. They don't come with the goods them through the ship. They don't come na Wataki. Leoncom, na in they take these services them, all them goods they are with them ship kana Wataki, when a Zood Labs. Now we they take them, we offload and come on Wataki, and we go left and at the various area then the location there where we people then say, na they want them. So we people them, na Orange, Africell, QCell, then are the mobile network operators, and then we get Afcom, Online, and the other internet service providers them. So this na Leoncom in primary mandate for make sure say we transport data service across the country. So one of the things the way Leoncom also they do, while we they go transport all the data service here, we make sure say they support government on a vision where government been say, they want for enhanced connectivity to universities, schools, hospitals, ministries, departments, and agencies. When are all government institutions them where they across the country at the provincial areas. So what in Leoncom self they do for add to this, now that we get what we call AL fiber, where now the same as metro cable, where people then can say metro. That term basically now the technology word for fiber where they pass now them poles them and they go now we host them, offices and different communities. We get metro cable Nabo, Kenema, Makeni, Kono, Cambia, Pujon, Kabbalah, and Putloko, and few other district headquarter towns. Leoncom get presence now all the district headquarter towns na Sierra Leone, with the exception of Karine and Falaba, of which we are in a very good relationship and a talking terms with the ministry for let we see how we footprint, that is the national network fiber backbone infrastructure, would they all sign at this country. No district, no go left behind. So, and also one of the things that we Leoncom they do for enhance this network, now that we they put what we call backup plans. Backup mean, for example, if you the worker from, you want go downstairs now, from this building, oh, this one are foreign affairs. Not a one way this, they make this infrastructure for go downstairs, not so. You get the staircase, and then you get the lift. If the lift go off, you go use the staircase for go down, not so. So this now the plan where Leoncom put in place. We get so many multiple backup plans that this network so much that if one leg, that is one cable path go off, then cut them. Because these are the basic challenges, the regular challenges they all they face for damage the fiber cable. If one leg go down, we get other areas there where we they make sure say.
So what's be happen to Bo now? We been lost internet na Bo.
Okay.
And then it take a whole day.
Just give me a few seconds. They are comfortable. Make able identify. Highlight this proper. Let people, because this is not technology related information.
Yeah.
Let we all just sync, then we come back to Bo.
Okay.
So if one leg go down, we get multiple way traffic they pass. Just like I used the scenario of the staircase and the lift. This now waiting Leoncom they do for make sure say at all time we get what we call service continuity. People not for go blackout. So talk about Bo as how you sensitively pick on that point. We get areas them where if you not able, you get areas them where we be need for activate, that is between the submarine station and the Leoncom Network Operation Center we na day. So interesting, I think Madam Minister forget the instance. The instance na been that disaster management agency then been get for dig some path and do some work. Exactly. Yeah. So the procedure where we get as a nation, when you do any work where they affect utility service, you not just they go and jump into them. You go get for informed sector players, and then come there, we all they do that work they collectively, and then we manage the situation. So this not be happen. So when they do this, the person where they do the machine, where they like forklift it out, so not been, I get an idea of all this.
And he knock out one of the cables.
Completely along that
But the
path.
reason why I asked the question and the timing of my question, now because you mean they say, Leoncom, they make sure say we get alternatives, so we no go get shut down. You see, we get road for good dong so, we get other road for good bien so. So when that power they go out to Bo, where NDMA have been getting information knock out, explain to me why it take that long for them to find the other road.
It being very critical. We get technical glitches at some point. So that was why it take that long.
Okay.
Because some of the challenges then they.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I want to move to the regulator because this is very important on this question. And thank you. I think it really, even for me as the minister, I get to put up my hand and say, the way we have to explain and so with the minister and all, it really useful for the public. We will make sure, say, my team, let we really help for distill this further and let we continue for getting kind of engagement here so people can know more and more. We'll come back to you. So make we come to Mr. Benfode. The regulator, all this issue, governments be don't privatize. But when are your job? Now for represent the people of the country, for hold them to a high standard, for make sure say we get less disruptions. Not also for make sure say the quality of the service within they provide is consistent and it meets with the minister in vision, in mandates, and the president's in vision. So explain una your role inside all of this and how una they play una role for support the citizens of this country for let them access the human rights which the minister just talked about.
Thank you very much. Me famble and good afternoon. We role na NATCA na for ensure say we provide the enabling environment for ensure say the work way we partners and they do. We consider them partners even with the private sector, the mobile network operators and the internet service providers then do an H-free. So that whilst we regulate for everybody. We regulate for governments, we regulate for the people and these consumers or subscribers, then we regulate for the sector themselves. As we talk so, like where this thing don't happen critically, we don't get 3 days meetings now, we call it workshops. The last meeting at today will get, and when it happened on Sunday, we had a meeting on Monday immediately, they will get a meet Sunday the 4th of August, we had a meeting on Monday on the 5th, we are there for nearly 3 hours, for ensure say we bring firm up solutions by the directives from the ministry, because the ministry they give policy, now they do regulations. But whether it is policy or regulations, they then say the devil is into the details. So the details now for ensure say we bring up to speed solution for waiting we will not go repeat again. Today, we just come and meet for another 3 hour meeting. We don't get and matching orders that we get for look at waiting and for sent to we by close of business tomorrow. All the your own pricing strategies and then pricing models across networks, that is Zood Labs and Salcap and the MNO them, whilst we look at this thing for Guinea. Where we talk now, by tomorrow, as they bring it so we look at and complete and analyze them. So before we go next week in Conakry, we get far more information. We will go for Kergode, because at the end of the day, waiting Conakry, the GIWI, and waiting to serve the GID with respect to redundancies, we go for come to terms. So the bottom line is, even on the cost, you get for candor.
Mr. Benfode.
Yes, sir.
What's in a redundancy?
Redundancy and an alternative route. That means who say we use for pass back. Now we use, so if we use this leg, then if something happen on this leg, then you go other side. Like I didn't say, and like I always say, internet now it is all over the world. So nobody no one for even spend 5 minutes without them. So waiting we they do now for make we bring them up to speed, and we get even with regulations on quality of service. Like way quality of service get challenged in the recent past now because when they do upgrades. Say for example, without naming names, on one of the sector players, they do upgrades now. So like Orange, for instance, then they change all of the technology from Ericsson to Huawei. Then they do them by sectors. So by the end of August, they don't do every other thing. They have migrated all in 2Gs to 3Gs. Same like Africell. Africell do about 99% of migration from 2G to 3G. By next first quarter of 2025, they're going to move everything to 4G.
So we Orange, with not a young percentage?
Orange has done 100% on 3G migration, done even on 4G. By next quarter, they're going to do everything on 4G.
Okay.
So waiting with the try for do, even on 5G, we don't get the test, but we're going to do spectrum refarming. Because there are times people then can come by, before now, we will not get spectrum refarming. That means we the spectrum we can hold them. All man can go to the market and buy, and hold them so that in company for prevent, main company no use them. Because this now all man the watch. Why isn't they compete? But we don't bring account to them say now, why is when they compete? We still get for corporate for ensure say we deliver on digital inclusion. Where we don't talk about fourth industrial revolution, the generation Z and the millennials or even baby boomers we're not going to let them behind. All man get to be connected to the internet. And we on roll. Now, ensure say we give them, if there are penalties in our regulations, we get for ensure that those penalties are meted out to them, and ensure say we bring them up to book for deliver on the goodies for salon. As we talk to now, we are looking at reviewing our quality of service regulations, because the last one we do was in 2020. This is 2024, and in the next 4 months we get for go to 2025. So we'll get for review all of those regulations then for bringing them out to speed.
Mr. Benford, who send this review detail? Because a lot of the questions we don't get online really about quality of the network.
We are on the review right now as I talk. We are on the review right now as I talk. But like I talk this now, so then they do upgrades. So if they do upgrades, you will get small challenge on the quality. Not only that, then we also call densification. You know, say if we get increase in traffic, when you get traffic volume, even in Freetown, we get side and we say you get coverage gaps. The other day we are at Bango Farm. Then they put on a Bango Farm, they got put even a Wilberforce because of the traffic volumes. Then again for densification means add on onto the towers so that congestion go be reduced. Even where we are, whether it's in Siama, it is in Mongo, wherever they are. There is coverage all over the place. But because of traffic volumes, then get for do densification. Even then they do deep rural or peri-urban for ensure say all man come and get for connect. Because everybody now no go without the internet. Where one person reach 10 or 11 or even before that, they get phone. So if you get phone, the population will be there before we get. Population they increase by the day and by the hour. So once then they go, now congestion will set in. So what you get for do based on your traffic volumes, once they don't go up to 70%, they go say, no, I have to put another tower here, I got to put another tower here, and I got to put another tower here. Then get an expansion and rollout plan so they can give it at the end of start of every year. Then get an extension plan. So like this year, the insurance, they get to make sure they do, all rank get to do 50 towers, Q sellers to do 50 towers, and every side they get to do 118 towers.
All right. We get some questions that we don't come online and see. I'm not even ask for questions. People don't make put their hand up. Now wait. We'll get the citizens that we don't send in question first. Lord ask. Madam Minister, one big question, I question on cost. How will they control the costs and make sure say both mobile phone service, internet service, you know the last time, I think you just take office, 9 tariff them go up. Now been big conversation. Will be moots by me and you, and for explain to citizens there. But one question will be keep on coming is how will they maintain reasonable cost for citizens, and how would they make sure say the cost regime is transparent?
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. And I think that as a government, we always up for confront the difficult questions. No government no go dey see one. Now the last 2 way me want to confront at 1 month into the job. You can't get issue of say tariff costs. But a case was made. A case was made, as you know, not to for go back on that issue there. We saw issues increase in fuel, increase in the energy, EDSA costs, the exchange, the dollar exchange, and all of these things where they impact the cost of the operators. These towers, they run, for now, most of them, they run on fuel. Although they imply on them and force on them, say we want to see them move to renewable energy, but for now, most of them, they on generators or EDSA. So, on that thing, and then that thing, they are the influence or inform the cost of the data. So, what do we do? One of the big things that we, even the interest government in this additional to the redundancy with this Guinea, I know I use the word because somebody may not want to mean social media for the word redundancy, but this link we want to do with Guinea, the backup, one thing for the emergency, but another factor with the interest governments are potentially foresee how, if because of this Guinea link, if there is a potential, say, because of that, the costs go be reduced. And government interest, and we go talk about where we finalize with all of the partners. Then a short-term plan. Long-term plan, I mentioned to the Sierra Leone Digital Transformation Project. One of the things that we done they do, everything currently they ongoing, now for do a cost study. That cost study they will do, 9D, it go into account, they look into the ISPs, the telcos, Zood Labs, Leoncom. It is looking to how then they do them pricing. Waiting the influence that decision day, and at the end, waiting not carry per supervisor, because at the end of the day, NATCA they regulate so we can to pricing. They give NATCA for the future. They give we an equation now, like you know, see fuel. Now what we don't government we don't do with fuel. Fuel now they just go up. Government we don't get this equation where they go into a standard format where they go into for inform fuel increase. Now that same thing they now we get for do we can to
how soon, Madam Minister?
So the study currently they ongoing. I think say go complete by September or October. By this September. Oh, no, don't do 30 days. It's 100 days. So around October, in 2 more months, that assessment day would be. I think say the people that been in town just last week. And they said, it's all them people there. So in 2 months, that study they go done. So going forward now, we will get that equation. They will go inform whether decrease or any future increase.
So before the end of the year, me and you will come back to the people of this country and say, now the formula this, we don't do, on how we for the calculate the cost of mobile and internet costs nas alone, and so the calculation will happen, we will be transparent about that. None of your commitments.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. One more final question we'll get. Somebody say, what's at the cause of the terrible network, cellular and internet situation for weeks now? You see, especially with Orange. I want to say Orange. No, it's not clear they talk. See, what are they doing to solve the problem? How soon are they going to solve it?
I think, say, as Mr. Benford mentioned specifically,
now because of the upgrade.
I think, say, if you ask me what could be done better and which the commitment will they have with you ministry now for engage on, we think what can be done better now the information.
Correct.
Because I don't think say people let me aware specifically, and this I always they say all thing communication. We communicate to people. People are not even aware. Say the upgrade this now go can give them 4G. So this is a good thing. They per happen for people, and the fact say Orange per change all the technology now. They move all things to 4G. Now good thing where they come, but unfortunately, the only way this for do pass you out the whole one and install the new one. I will not get all that way for now. So in 10 years time, better technology going but for now, so it is. So, but I think it's going to complete very soon. End of August, so all go be. That's the reason with Nipa gone with.
So, Fambuli, where they experience some difficulty on behalf of the government of Salon, for apologize to you and say that the sector was supposed to communicate better. We're supposed to tell you proactively, and are you right as a citizen? So you go no say this problem get for happen because we don't say this now bread and butter. But like the minister don't say we will do better, we will work together with them while all we there, so that we will provide another information how you go know. But the good news now important here. Big better service than a road. Now make the upgrade happen. The investment then that serious investment, we will make sure say we service they improve. Now all canto now no say then get more for ad. But I want for give you a chance quick for ask a few questions. Today we'll extend this press conference because we'll get more of the panelists there. So we'll take the first round. Somebody they will play sound one. I want for you, please turn it off. And then we take the first set of questions and then we'll come back. All right, let me see. Where do we start? We'll start with you today, number 1. You go number 2. You go number 3 with the whites. You go number 4, the pago number 5. Patience, will they come? Yes, start.
My name is Ahmed Waiture, the report for Galaxy Guide. Of course, the internet connectivity is a big problem in this country. Thereby, Madam Minister, you highlight several challenges where I can state the issue of internet connectivity, capacity building, and MDS infrastructure. When a big challenge in the sense you just mentioned, we 1 or 2, 3 MDs not they use the same, internet connectivity of the same cost of the various, setup. My question I have, where I go one for send because I know Mr. Minister. My question is that what now impactful digital service standards for international best practice? This they go to now all the service providers then. Yeah. Thank you very much.
What's now the impactful digital service standards
for international best practice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Number 2.
Good day, Mr. Minister. I want to congratulate you all on the good step because a wonderful move.
And this mic, una please change this mic. You know they work fine.
As a ministry, Madam Minister, what una don dey do for we own telecommunication when as Seratel? Wetin are the steps them una want for take and for CC and bring Seratel back to life?
Thank you. Good question. Number 3, I been this gentleman here. Forget one mic here, one mic here. Guys, can you do this thing faster? No, they don't get better. Charles, we normally can get one mic on this side, one mic on this side. This one woman not so you want to get for move the same mic here on a boku with the work. Come on. Go ahead. It's okay. Then get
my name na Ibrahim Sarah Sisi, Voice of Salon Radio. And we see you talk about the increase of tariff, the internet tariff. But like we receive poor quality based on the internet. As a ministry, how will they monitor the situation for let we get better quality? Because when you buy the data, it will take you 1 or 2 minutes before you able to connect.
Okay, thank you. Number 4. Now be this gentleman with white.
Yeah, my question is...
your name, please.
Alfred Sise, Choice FM. The 3 major cities, Freetown, Bo, and McKinney.
You sure say I don't so? Not 3 major cities.
No, the 3... No,
because you use definite article, let you say the 3 major cities.
Okay.
Because
the 3 main areas.
Just to be clear, that you statement they may not endorse them, but go ahead.
Now we look at Freetown,
okay,
McKinney,
yes,
and Bo.
Good, better framing. Yes.
The 3 side, few weeks, all 3 inside and the internet go down. And I agree that they talk about continuity by the cable, linking getting causes and somebody mentioned, I don't know who's pardon be mentioned that say somebody they build us, they go dig and the cable.
The minister mentioned that, yes.
Yeah. Waiting at the measures owner can take for them people and the way they go do their work and they without permission, then waiting the government they do towards that.
Okay.
Then waiting at the feet of the whole road that they dig for leading cables and they.
Thank you. Ipa number 1.
Mohammed Kamara, the Watch newspaper, and Sankara Media Hub Limited. Mr. Idris, any of you technique, in 2023, the Minister of the Simeon Combs reports say there are 1.38 million users of internet in Sierra Leone. In 2012, we refer to, the former government will say the cable we talked to the 7,000 miles from Paris. Now we don't go beyond Spain and Portugal, then again to Cape Verde. Now the Honorable Minister will talk of interconnections again. Then we'll get to the talk. Just one question. How safe, as Sierra users them, when they use internet in terms of hackers them in the cyber world? Thank you.
Waiting make the bar get the title for be the celebrity na ya. Waiting make in our resident celebrity. When I see it do in research. Now you no more they do background work with the gags in question na ya. It layer. And I no more get rights for do preface where they asking question na ya. Nobody else. Yeah, no in free na in a celebrity. They speak English inside the hall. And they left out. All right, so there are 5 questions. Let's go quickly. I think most of the questions are really about quality. digital service standards for international best practice. This is not a question we, I think, apply to now all. What you do about CRTL, Madam Minister? Somebody said the poor quality of the internet service we they get, so what to do about that? And then what measures they would take for the one that we know they follow the regulation, where they dig and they come. And then very important question to Zoo Labs is about if the line so long, the way we they use them, how are we protected from hackers? What I want to do, I want to do the reverse. I want to start with two now, then we can out to regulator, and then we go to government.
Okay, so thank you, sir. So let's talk about security and protection at two levels. One, now, how is it that we will be how we go able for protect ourselves such that we want internet and we're not able to get them? So let's talk about protection in terms of access. So if you want it, you want them and you're not able to get them, that you don't get problem. So that's at the first level. The second level now, the hackers where you talk about. So I get me bank account, I get me own small confidential information where it is on the internet, because everything connected like that, and evidence don't show say somebody able for dinner Ukraine, and because instead get internet, you self get internet, something they will go there on your computer where you go able for fend ways, but then they na knowledge issue. Waiting Zood Labs they try for do na primarily na protection on that first level, for protect you such that, well, brother, they talk about blackout. They don't say, Zood Labs, you make sure say internet they can at this country. And then, whether a cable they cut, whether any other reason, people want internet, Leone come ready for transport them, the mobile company ready for give the people them, but Zood Labs say, internet not there. So, now that protection, they really, now they Zood Labs, they focus in attention. And as we be talk, part of the reasons we they Guinea, now for add one more road. We get 3 roads where they come, but all in water. And all of them, they get the same risk. So how about we look other side now for prevent Dande? On the one of the hacking, in not to one person they do them, but ministry they do bokutin, to the extent they don't set up a whole institution, where then they call, the short name now NC3, but what it really mean now, National Cybersecurity Coordination Center. So then they now like the ONS for cyber issues. So then they monitor, would that they try for kind size salon via the internet, we're not authorized, how MDAs therefore protect themselves, which measures then for take for make sure say we they prevent unauthorized access of sensitive information inside Sierra Leone. But maybe the ministry go on for talk about that. Quality of service. Zood Labs getting your role. So I will do small English. Then get one word where they call latency. Understand latency in IT as the time where it take for make a talk and make you hear it. Because it not they happen at the same time. We know they recognize them, but when you click something on your phone or on the computer, small time the way it take for let it go pull the magazine at the store. So that time there's a way that they measure them, they call them latency. Most times it is in milliseconds, so it not even reach 1 second. So the way NATCA they use, the way ministry they use, the way the MNOs then they use for check whether Zood Labs in quality good, now how long that latency they last for let the traffic come. Currently, we don't come on NATCA that they say for be 100 milliseconds. So then between 80 and 100 milliseconds. So then they now like almost 1/10 of a second information for don't reach to we. How they monitor that day, there are other discussions where they go on, but this is just the situation.
All right, Leone, same question around standards.
Thank you. So I think I just leverage on, for managed time, on leverage on the information way, make a lean on the information way Mahmoud don't give you about informing on all about the National Cybersecurity Coordination Office, their responsibility, where then they work with we all, where they do the infrastructure there also. And also now we own individual infrastructures them, we get things they will put in place for make sure say unauthorized people they no access we network.
Because when they move from Wataki for Kango now, we visual warehouse them. Una self prone to attack on the way. And
Thank you.
una own system, people don't just want assurance that it's safe and in compliance with international best practice.
Yes. So, in fact, because of waiting you they talk about, so one thing we all know now that now this whole country we get 45 sites them within all the district headquarter towns them and town and villages them all. So waiting they happen most times in one form of sabotage or some of these damages to the fiber cable, it can happen out of ignorance. We get areas them where erosion take place excessively. Somebody they come on a farm, a in cutlass, just carelessly just watch this cable, they just struck in hand, they cut the fiber. Now blackout they so that community day or that region day. And then also we
Some man not so ignorance, or some man they go being you for
yeah, that's some are deliberate and some I guess for be fair enough, you know. Some are deliberate, some are out of ignorance. And then you get people them where they encroach and put structures them na the SLRA right of way. Because the SLRA right of way, now they will mandatory for put we cable for Leam go na places them all usari day. So you get communities the way they go. Me and you get to small money, you want build shop. Somebody come, you want build in shop, and not even aware, and not go take permit, and just begin dig for putting foundation. The next thing you remember, we will sit down at this room. If nabo we dey, nabo affect Kenema McKinney. Orange don't go because I tell you, if we not been get multiple backup routes them, this cable go down damage na this country. Me and you for imagine now how much people they dig foundation today. Now these routes all through to the province. A lot of people they do their own little development, right? So, and what will they do again? Now we office na Jue, when they will get a network operation center, we get people that way they work round the clock, just like hospital. Then they monitor we network screen like this so. Then they monitor around 24 hours a day, full time. Then they do 3 shifts a day. Then they do 7 days a week, round the clock. We not get holiday, we not get pre-day.
So if any problem be, then they immediately see
then they notice
and react.
And then also, we get regional deployment of engineers and technical support staff. We get them in the Northeast region, we get them in the Southeast region, we get them in the Northwest area. And then we take multiple backup links. And then we shake hands with the neighboring country, Guinea. When a day, as how the minister they talk so, for let we able make sure so this country secure more. And then we make sure so we get continuous internet service. We they shake hands with Guinea for take another route of backup. And then the last one, I know say you want for coming, Mr. Minister, we they do community sensitizations. We get what we call road monitors. We get individuals the way we they take. We they go to chiefs them. We say, this chiefdom, give we 3 people them where they route just outside the cable pass. Let them watch every day. We buy motorbike for them. Then people and they would fuel the motorbikes. We all know, I think we all can imagine the challenges and financial exposure with all enter. Then they plan at their community, then they all day. Anything where they see, if possible one challenge, then go to the chief. So we do community sensitization and tell people that we thank the chief them all can help you on this. So far, now this we will say.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much. Natska.
Thank you very much. Let I just respond to my colleague. We asked for impactful digital service standards. Of course, everything we would do is based on ITU standards. Salon are a bona fide member of the International Telecommunications Union. So all the SOPs and standard operating procedures based on ITU standards. Even where they talk about NFAT, then are the National Frequency Allocation Table, we know we just do them from space. We get for based on a standard that is laid. With respect to pricing, we get what we call floor and cap. So in the discussions today, one thing we're going to talk about for bring prices down, we say, and then they say that we will get floor. If price will not go below on for the MNOs, then get cap, the price will go above for MNOs. Then we'll do the same thing for the Zood Labs and Salcab where they supply ISPs. So the conversation is that, and then for country against tomorrow, like I mentioned. Then on the penalties, we post in court, like you mentioned, we are reviewing the regulations, so bring that on board. So if it's not clearly spelled out in the regulations with respect to penalties, we post in physically go court, because the penalties usually are just on the service providers, they will bring that on board. They will do the relevant provisions in the regulations. Thank you.
Madam Minister, you get, Lord, do then one and then you end with Seratel. So deal with the quality question then and then. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, thank you very much. I think, on the international best practice, as the regulator just mentioned, we follow ITU standards, the national broadband strategy, the national government enterprise architecture. These are all international standards. We to the Salono model, we bring in the ITUs, the Smart Africa, Dial. Now they all enable we for development. So that they benchmark against international best practice. On the issue of poor quality, I think, as the regulator mentioned, that now one of, I know the DG, right now one of his biggest priorities. As much as, the digital transformation project, one of the challenges we not coming on the face now, the equipment them, because we get the laws. We get the laws for mobile, no say, the telcos, where you call, you data the loss or the drop calls, or all the issue that we get regulation for stop them. The problem women they will not get away for monitor, for no say almost, because obviously now technology go allow for some drop calls, but we get benchmarks almost for pass. The problem women they will not get away for monitor, we rely on them data. The project now they provide support for more we get the equipment and
this World Bank project.
This World Bank project, we just done the specifications of the equipment. I believe say before the end of the other contract they go sign, so go get the equipment there. NAT can now go able to measure, and I know say waiting the DG now they also do. We they look at the penalties, because it's somebody fine telco 1,000 euro, they don't potentially that any hit. So you for fine waiting the person in the field. We will make sure say he do what he need for do. So I know say the DG that's a big priority for right now for look at the regulations and so once we get the equipment we'll be able to begin effect that enforcement for see how they begin solve some of the issues of quality of service. On the terrestrial cutting, I'm not going to go as Leone just mentioned, but really what I want to reiterate now. Yes, again, this activity the regulator they look at for see how they enforce, but no better way not the past community ownership. Recently, glad for see this a couple of days ago, video me they go around and catch somebody in our area, and not so just it is sometimes willful. Then they cut time so then go sell them. Now the more just be frank and willful. So one man for a own interest, we cut I don't deprive a whole community. So I think say the and what I mean like but that what I see, I not say what Apple later, but what me see the community take ownership and then go report. You know, when they say make people then turn vigilante for begin beat people them, there's protocols in place. So then catch the person, then take the person and go report to the authorities. I think say community ownership of understanding, say that cable in on all you where one person cut all man of the community they suffer. So we they will come in for resolve the situation. So I been really want to reinforce that. On the cyber security question, they all don't talk about the internet provision, how they protect them. But even then, digital government platform they're also prone to cyber attack. So that national cyber security coordinating center where we get. Also, they work with and they do now for protect government services, for make sure say government in response to them, for more protect we safe and respond to potential cyber attack really they up. So for now, we don't even get support from ECOWAS, where they need to install equipment at that center they for more able really effectively do that. And also, just a couple of months ago, we go sign the Budapest Convention. Because cybersecurity na big space. You country one gonna be able to need for join on with we get for belong to an international community for able to all come together. So belong to that. So don't go ratify the Budapest Convention at Paris. So now we're not part of that the biggest cybersecurity organization we did. So we don't salon now a part of that. So we all don't join on for do that. I go end now with the big question when I Seratel with somebody asks me, and a very valid concern. We this means they don't get. as Famule all aware, government don't decide say we privatize Seratel. And that's for very good reason. Same reason we make government decide for privatize Salcap. We all understand say sometimes, especially then thing that these are businesses. This is not private sector business providing internet. The tell way we get Seratel, and the tell way maybe we're not able to attract enough private sector. But now we don't get Orange, we don't get AfriCell, we get QCell. We believe say na time for me Seratel also be privatized. Because now that only way then they able to compete. We get private sector investment, then self go able to compete with the others. So we dey on that process day in terms of privatization. But most importantly, what they also happen is an audit. For me, privatize, for me, you attract investor, you get for tell them what's in at the table. Therefore, tell them this na the assets them and the infrastructure we Seratel get. This na the liabilities we Seratel get because Seratel get liabilities them, and this na the potential value what is Seratel worth. But we don't know that they from an independent, well-respected source. But even within, we don't know that they right now so many. Even yesterday, somebody called up discuss. We work with NCP for able walk through this process here. So, but in the interim, we can't Seratel, we still, even though they move towards privatization, we still see which measures we can put in place, at least for me, able sustaining safe till the privatization they can, we can to the workers them, how they provide for them, we can to the operations within they do. So about rest assured Seratel is a priority. Government they consider and move along to waiting the privatization for look like and which kind of operations Seratel should be into for me they really able to compete with the private sector. Thank you.
Voila. Thank you very much. Next round of questions. We have to start with a woman now. 5 men the last time. So pass the woman name, no decisive, no they ask who. Who get one? Hand up. The man hand up. I don't see the woman hand go up. No? Okay, somebody been there behind that we been the fet for ask question. I don't see hand again. Okay. So we'll go this way. 1 on this side. 2 at the back. 3 here. 4 here. And 5 to AYV. Okay? Unfortunately, then all the 5 we'll be able to take for today. So please. I want to remind family and say, if you didn't host, una way didn't yourself. One way we ensure say we ask you question. Text 818. Use the link. All questions that come online are asked. Guaranteed. If you didn't hear, you send a question online, and they ask the panel. If I ask the panel before I go. So even if you didn't hear, also you don't ask us the question, okay? Just send the text. You know it costs you nothing. Toll free on all networks. With the QCell, with the AfriCell, with the Orange. 818, you send the question with the answer. Okay, let's go. Yes.
Now, Francis Horton from Sarah Kali blog. I spent 3 days in Mwamba, specifically Banter Chiefdom, and the quality of the network in that particular community, they poor. I'll ask the minister, what did they do for improve the service with the network in the community there? Then also, whilst they travel from Freetown for go upline, you notice in between na the road, you the lost network. Waiting the ministry itself they do for improve that quality there.
Who that number 2? Now by the side. When are you go ahead, yes.
Okay. My name Mahmoud Silla from the Nature newspaper. Mr. Minister of Information, my question goes to you. The question that justice delay is justice denied. After the August 10 incident 2022, government set up an investigative committee and they did a report. Up to now, we don't know the status of that report. There are people whose names we are on that list or in that investigation report that this will face full-fledged of the law. up to now they are parabolating, marauding in the street of Sierra Leone without justice being meted on the victims.
All right, number 3.
Okay, so
Thank you. Go ahead.
Maina Justice, Salum from Sarah Fox Media. So I want to send some question to Madam Minister, and I want to commend you for your presentation and your achievement. But one thing the way you know mention, and when one of the biggest question and the way the creative world asks you, when our monetization, how far we they on this? Then also how the public will able benefit from this Starlink owner don't launch, because presently I understand say like how you say now few side no more force now they try to do some testing or try for give the opportunities to how this go open to the public, like we for able user, because after sell Orange don't disappoint we, so we want to see how we get.
Go ahead.
Madam La Ibrahim Jawara, the question to go to Mr. Minister. We don't say the fight between Lebanon and Israel don't they escalate, and we see other countries and don't they go take their citizens them, and for the past 1-2 weeks, don't they get disturbing videos, message from we colleagues and whether they foresee how best government can able to rescue them and come with them back home. So what's the position of government presently of that situation there?
Thank you. Number 5.
Yeah, my name is Mohamed M. Thoronka, AYV Media Empire. Improving the internet, expanding it, they attract more users. So I want to ask, waiting the ministry they do for ensure say, then create more way for educate people them on cyber security, especially, the internet fraud starting. Now the local Sierra Leone, for example, we don't get issue of the super adverts and all anything and they derive from the internet. So what's in the ministry do for create more education, for educate people on how, them for the make use of information them from the internet.
Thank you. I think somebody been there and the way in hand been there up. I'll again the chancellor asking question. Be the last one, yes. Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. Mina Kev Dukule, Equality Now newspaper. Natu Zulab. There is some rumor going on, or somebody has written it as article, that Zula actually una investment very poor, and that when you una be the come for this contract, una been come with a portfolio, una been promised for come with a portfolio of $20 million to strengthen the landing station outside the cable that they come out. Mm-hmm. But according to information, we they get this poor quality because we are not they invest at all, and when they left the cables there derelict, we are not they repair them, so we're responsible for the poor quality what they get. The accusation even talks say we are connive with the ministry because the former minister not be pinning foot down for let una really unbundle una portfolio, but instead una say where una collect from Seratel, where una collect from Airtel, Africell, this, that, when I go to maintenance.
Question did it somewhere, eh?
Yeah, that is a question, yes. So,
okay,
what to make this slow in this internet provision, because they say we are not agree invest. Instead, we rely on payment the way they
we don't hear that part today. So the question after let I respond, eh?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. So we get quite a few questions here. Tell you, thank you. We don't done for today. I apologize. As I can say, just to be clear, I appreciate the one that we ask questions. We're not related to this sector. This is not the government of Sierra Leone weekly press conference. So you get right for ask about any and everything concerning the government of Salone. And that name make this platform there. And I'm a job as Minister of Information for get that information for you. As it can be sometimes I can get the information. So I will promise you say I will do a follow-up and reach out to the particular journalist and come. But I can say now just quickly on the question of August 10, that I know say there was a public report. The commission was led by lawyer Safa Abdullahi, Emmanuel Safa Abdullahi. We're now at the head of NSA. There was a public report that was issued with a whole lot of recommendations one also government not follow up on. The one the way they say there was allegations that then people then for be brought to law. No say a commission of inquiry not equal necessary. In fact, it's not a commission of inquiry, it be an investigation commission. No means say the conclusions them. Now law officers get for look at that day, for example, if for say, oh, then for prosecute somebody, for say meets the evidentiary threshold. So all that are part of the process, but I want to engage with you for know if you ask about specific steps they will not take it, following that investigation day and the step they will supposed to take for follow up on that. As the current president of the United Nations Security Council, the government of Salone, of course, care about what's in the happen between Lebanon and Israel. In fact, I know say there are some emergency sessions they would on call during the course of this month for particularly address that issue there. And then, as a sovereign state, we care about the welfare for citizens them all across the world. You know, say we get we're in constant touch as well with not just we embassies and consulates that within our region there, but for also coordinate any humanitarian response we will require for coordinates for in the case where if possible or where needed, either evacuate with citizens them or other supports they will go for provide to citizens them. So I want to assure you, say the Minister of Foreign Affairs, they pay very close attention to this issue. There's a question on cybersecurity education and all. Me and the Minister are going to talk a lot about how we work together for increased citizens in digital education. In fact, one of the pillars them of the recent Cotton 3 civic education strategy around digital citizenship. And then they get for include all of that. Even just this morning, me and the minister have been in a conversation, a meeting, we will discuss this, and I know saying several add on that. Madam Minister, I think quite a few questions are directed to you. So I will come to you on the question of monetization. The board has say Starlink only limited to some people and so far. So I think also now opportunity for them just clarify Starlink and the opportunity we'll get. And then this question back on the area of citizens education. So touch on that one quickly, and then I will come to Zood Labs for respond to the question. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think say first somebody may get question on again this issue of
dead zones, improving networking in rural communities.
I think it's important first for understand again how this technology works. You know, if I put this service in the latch on towers. Now outside the tower they and the radius of outside the tower they cover as long as you do within that area they now you get. But we can't to rural areas and make the regulator talk about density. We can't to how mobile operators then they go penetrate. Obviously, person they put in tower some side where nobody know the day. You know, if you go put tower na forest, who get for and it's a tower we get for the fuel. Not to just tie cable, put your left out, you get for the put fuel, buy fuel, maintenance. If nobody know they for latch to that tower, you need to get no revenue from that tower. So financially, and it makes sense for some of them. So that's then they inform the status, especially we corner the road now, where you part travel. Why you no get any freedom? Because population they all over. Right? So you no get any freedom. But we can't to the rural areas if you drive from here. So then in between and the two radios they not meet up. So you go get and not to just Salone, and they happen all over the world. No country no go tell you say every inch covered because when you get that population gap, you get service gap. But what we really do, because I talk to you about the revenue strategy with the telcos, but as a government, we believe say side and the way if we even go, we not so because of just looking at your revenue. So that make we get UADF, Universal Access Development Fund. Then all them telcos, everybody, all of them, then they put money inside UADF. We then put some money there. UADF the user for build towers, then our areas them we certain the telcos, the private sector, then office say it meets the financial benchmark. For me, then put tower. But we put them because we believe, say, one, as somebody say, where you put the service, people in the camp. They're giving incentives to go launch you one UADF site. All of the Kego 500 phone, all sell out. That one green day. So now I know the use as example to the and say, look, if you put some people in the user, you know, so we see the calls. And so now that we as a government, the initiative what they do for drive, even in areas where we not think, where the telcos and office as commercially viable, but we work with them as a measure. Every year, they get new sites where they put up. Then I told the monitor, we need just left them a part of the commitment where they get to we every year, then they just sit on 1 year, they not put no sites. Every year then they increase, every year then they increase. So now that day we work, and this is the reason why we potentially get then gap and labor. Also on the issue of, and I need to me explain, just want to reinforce. When you get something then the thing they drop the quality bad. Where you may not make as the population they grow. For example, if you build this you 1 tower, you build for maybe 50 people user. But because the population don't go, now all of a sudden in that community they don't get 200 people That means now you need to go put more. So these are some of the reasons where they happen, where congestion they happen, where the situation in the happen. I just want to explain them. On the issue of monetization of social media platforms, that is one of the big takeaways that we'll get from the Tech Summit. I think as I mentioned, Meta, when the company we own Facebook and Instagram, they made a ton. And this is a conversation where we get with them. We don't begin get headway, and also we don't begin conversation with Google when I then get YouTube. Those are the 3, you know, big one. I don't say people endure. And I think say to X in straightforward, you pay, you get those are straightforward. We engage with them. There were some issues where they highlight. One, the struggle women they face now in payment platform. For example, now if you don't monetize your content, Google, Meta, forget where how you get the money. One of the challenges women they get now, how will they able get that payment structure? They ability say now we get 2 or 3 private sector them we don't come on board with this digital payment platform. We tie to Visa and MasterCard. I don't advertise on their behalf, but they go talk with themselves.
Vault and Piper, are the name
people, we have
people.
So get on and we don't come on board. I think say now for content creators, if you get their accounts and it's easier.
I go charge them for the adverts, no worry.
You charge. I'm sector that after me, so they advertise for them. But on the other angle, the other issue, interestingly, where we engage with Google and then people and the issue struggle will get now addressing system. So when you sign up as part of them partner, they need for send you a unique code when you no more forget. They need for send a direct in your host and you need for sign for them. If you not get that digital addressing system becomes difficult, but sometimes Salon will get that problem. Other countries then where they don't partner with, we get that problem, they don't find a way for solve them. So these are the conversation we get with them now for see which solution we able to do for able to get standing. Finally, also, then get so many countries that already engage on partnerships. Then get a list. Then they go through based on when you approach them, now so then they move along that process. Now so then they move along that process. So we don't begin engagement today. Chief Minister says they engage at a very high level. We say they push for see how they will potentially fast track. We can put that the list of prioritization. That's an absolute thing because we believe say 500,000 jobs. That's an amazing way we will be able to solve 500,000 jobs. Starlink government will not want to be the mouthpiece for Starlink. Starlink is a private company. In terms of how people in the Starlink is accessible everywhere, by the way. It's not limited to nobody. You go online, I believe you follow them procedure, you pay for them, then deliver and use directly, I believe through DHL. So you go online, you pay for which one you want, then tell you waiting at that. This is where the digital payment system also important. You pay, you put your address, put all in which service you want, then they deliver the package card straight and use. And also then they work for local partners them. We sometimes you go directly to for access, but again, government no one be mouthpiece for Starlink. Starlink to government Starting na private sector, just like how Africell na private, Orange na private, QCell na private, you know, and I not one bite to the idea say Starlink is another option, just like how we get beaucoup internet service providers. It's an alternative option for all man who that think say make sense for them financially. Look at what is Starlink they provide versus what in the other one and they provide. You see what it makes sense for you. You know, that's on that. On the education and use, I think as you mentioned, I think say we can't to internet and information where they want to yes, so they work on educating people, but I think another thing which I know say many minister really they engage on now the issue of disinformation and misinformation on social media. You know, citizens there will also get for employ some reasoning. Right? So to all information, just because you see on the internet means it's true. We get for be able to employ critical thinking and begin question something that we see. On the issue of super advantage, I think say we all don't see them scheme they also don't come. You know, me I don't know, but no legitimate scheme where you put 100, you get 1 million. You know, so we get for think about anything. But on we own side, you know, these things happen, people take chance and it works, or sometimes it doesn't work. But waiting on the government side, we go able to do. Because anybody want to engage in fraud, then we engage. But what we go do for make sure one set up systems where person go able to cross check. Because I think the implication was this is a partnership with either Orange, but one set up systems. We believe anyway. But go set up with the set up systems together with NATCA for how people then go at least able to cross check. If some initiative come, you able go, you cross check whether this is a legitimate partner of the organizations, and that's what we go able to do for provide that information. They now government so agree say because before it is important to note say the mobile money was not regulated by NATCA. Before it was regulated by the Bank of Sierra Leone, but now government will reach an agreement for say NATCA and the bank go co-regulate this space because we can't do the technology. Now NATCA and then get that know how they work and put some of the measures there in place. But before we go to Zulabs, I do want to come in because I do think say that question that's an indictment on government as well. We now one government, this is a continuation of government. So whether you're referring it to the previous minister, we take on board on that day. I do not believe that is so. For say an allegation, say the ministry, they collude with the Zod Labs, we cancel, and I hope you made all listen to all this explanation. We'll spend 2 hours the GI, you know, and as a easy we'll break and know with the GI on what has been Zod Labs' role. Then partnership with they don't play. They don't even tell you, say, I don't speak on them because they will speak on their own behalf. So they don't even go invest in a other road where we not a woman give them. They don't go invest on them. But I go left them, I hope they explain really good details about how much investments they don't make so far. But on government side, Zod Labs, they pay as part of the agreement, and this is the same thing we have with Leone. They say don't invest in that fiber backbone we'll give them. Not to give them, they still get. The part of the agreement say they don't invest for improvement. But on Zod Labs and part as well, since I want to mention, Zod Labs every single month without fail, then they pay government for utilization of that service, that infrastructure they use. Then they pay. If it is ministry, then they support we. That's a part of their arrangement.
Consistent.
If they're not because it's a Ministry of Finance, they look for money. But trust me. Ministry of Finance, they look for money. So they have been consistent and compliant with paying the obligations they were meant to pay to government. Then go answer on the investment they don't make so far.
Just so you know, we get 5 minutes to wrap up and I have to finish at 4. So I'll give you 3 minutes.
Thank you. I'll try to do it in 2. The importance of then response here is, the gentleman opened the question is, rumor day. And once it becomes a rumor, then already the risk
anytime somebody say according to information.
Exactly. Or then say it's a faceless source, like you don't know that talk. Then are the first way they insulate himself. But let's come to the facts. The minister talked briefly about payments to government. So when government they give this infrastructure to Zod Lab and say, manage them because we believe you can do it better than if it is under government control. political influence no dey power na like wetin dey happen na Seratel. In addition to that, you say, okay, you can go ahead and even put your own money now. So we no need for the go dig inside the same government budget for do the additional investment. But moreover, you will this whole quality of service go improve, the burden on government go, but we go also give him money because now we don't give it. Let's add some numbers to this. Contrary to the rumors, government is given to the Zudlab is given to the government $1.8 million every year for that infrastructure. I like to put things in context. The contract where Zudlabs get with the government, which is 15 years, if we continue for pay $1.8 million over 15 years, the money they able for replace the same infrastructure. What that means is that money where government been put for bring the S cable, the Zudlab contract, they guarantee say government they get enough money for replace them at the end of the day. So that's the first thing. So financially, government is not even making a loss. The second thing is, waiting at the investment the way Zudlab don't do. So contrary to the dense rumors, I'll just highlight a few. One, energy. The minister been talking about moving away from fuel, petrol, generator. Why? Because number one, it costs a lot. Number two, it affects even the environment and the climate change we would experience. So if you go now the cable landing station today, 1.5 megawatt generator will be the run. If you put that in fuel, you will know. Today, that cable landing station is running on 100% renewable energy. Where they pass by Beach Road, you go see one place where get Boku panel up, batteries, one whole 40-foot container of batteries. Why? Because it has benefits to the climate, to the environment, and it helps to bring down the cost. So that investment alone costs over $1 million. In addition to many other locations where Zudlabs don't transition from fossil fuel to renewable energy. So then we also talk about the maintenance. They say, oh, we are not even maintenance the cable. In one of my earlier statements, I talk say, ACE, not a government of Salonge ACE. Government Sierra Leone is 1 all over 16 of ACE. So anything regarding the maintenance of that infrastructure, not a government of Sierra Leone, or for that matter, Zudlabs, they determine for maintenance. It goes through a governance structure which comprise 16 countries. What thing that they do is, then they do the maintenance and then they bill you as a country. And one of the things that way Zudlabs take over, the debt way government of Salon be owe is for their maintenance, then that's why it be impact. Clear all of them, they like today, not one Leone day where Zudlabs owe is. So when we hear these rumors, I want to encourage let we do the responsible thing and find out the facts. There's a particular newspaper right now that we're considering because they don't go borderline slanderous on us, and this is not right. This is not a company where they operate internationally. When they do business outside, they do what they call due diligence on you. So for make you get people where either lack of ethics or otherwise, they come and they do them thing away, it don't go on the internet, it did it forever, there has to be consequences. So I encourage we all, when you hear these rumors, the least you can do, the ethical thing to do is find out first and let you know. So my brother, I will assume that you want for no more. I will extend my number to you. If you really want to forget these details, which I can explain to you for 30 minutes, and we not get down there now, please contact me, and I will encourage you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On that note today, I just want to add, as the country Minister of Information and Civic Education, for appeal to me, brother and sister, then when a journalist them. The other day, some them back in rights. Me now, it's okay, then can write about me, I'm okay with that. But really, where you go, either something and pass small thing for like destroy somebody else's reputation, another company, whether it's a Sierra Leone company, or the country in reputation you destroy. And that's the most basic cardinal rule of responsible journalism now for cross-check your information. For reach out to the person. The principle say, before you publish, you hear the other side. And make sure say the views of the other side reflected. We work with IMC, with the SD standard now. Then they will get for push. And I know say the God get for commons, but we are working, we're bringing new legislation and all. We commitment to freedom of the press and freedom of information absolute. But at the same time, we know say freedom of information and freedom of the press also places a duty on you for not go out of your way for destroy other people and reputation and their work. So I know say Zudlabs and a company they will do their own bidding on their own, but we own points are a bigger point not just on this sector and also just on Zood Labs, but on other people in this sector. We get the complaints all the time. And for this opportunity for tell all thank you for when I come and for tell me guest them, particularly thank you from Zood Labs, from Leone, Mr. Momodu, Mr. Idris, Mr. Ben Fode as well from NATSCA, and the very outstanding Minister for Communication, Technology and Innovations, the Honorable Salima Monamaba, for the excellent work they do. We don't commit, say we will do better at communicating, we will coordinate all the things that we don't talk about, could they provide the information. But you are with the big una back with the information. When I cross check, we're always available and open. They're always also available and open. Let people then get the right and truthful information. Until we come again next week for another edition of the press conference. Assalamu alaikum.